What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Triple Threat Show. As always, I'm your host, Maverick Tommy, back at it on a Friday morning. Happy Friday to all you guys out there. We got a lot of NBA to cover. NBA playoffs continue. We've seen the Atlanta Hawks take a 2-1 series lead over the New York Knicks. We're going to break down that game. The Toronto Raptors get a game on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They send that series to a game 4 back in Toronto. We got to cover a little bit of the NHL. You see me not wearing my Bruins hat because fuck the Bruins this morning. I am sick of this team. We're going to break down all the action. Talk about a little bit of the NFL draft as well. Talk about some MLB. Get into all the sports. You know how it goes over here in the Triple Threat Show. Drop a follow, drop a like, follow us on YouTube. You can get all of our content, all of the streams that we do every single day. Gets uploaded to YouTube, as well as some of the other content from Jeremy and Nolan, my other two co-hosts over there at the Triple Threat Show. Follow us up. Let us know what you think. And yeah, let's get right on into it. We do not have any time to waste. Yes, it's another edition of Marab has to get to work ASAP. So let's just go. Let's get right into it. I want to start with the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks game because what another game. At some point or another, we have to be dead honest and just say CJ McCollum's going to get banned from Atlanta, bro. CJ McCollum is going to get banned from New York, excuse me. He's going to get banned. He's never going to be allowed there for the rest of his life. To go out there what he did in game 2 to ice the game over Jalen Brunson. To go out there in game 3 and hit the go-ahead shot over fall-away jumper over Josh Hart with 7 seconds to play. And then it's Jonathan Kuminga that gets the steal on Jalen Brunson. The Knicks don't even get an opportunity to answer with 12 seconds left to go in the game. Just ridiculous. It was an absolute ridiculous game for both sides. If you look at the Knicks side of things, they didn't even have a bad game. They didn't. OG Anunoby, 29 points. Karl Anthony Towns, 21 points and 17 rebounds. You have Jalen Brunson going off for another 26-point game. You have the top three guys. Miles McBride puts in another 15. You have three guys go over 20 points. OG almost goes for 30. And you lose. You lose to the Atlanta Hawks with Jalen Johnson going for 24 and 10, with CJ McCollum going for 23, Jonathan Kuminga going for 21. These last two games have been unbelievable for Jonathan Kuminga. The fourth quarter against the New York Knicks in New York for game 2, when he went ballistic in the last couple of minutes, had 8 or 10 points in the fourth quarter, and then last night going off for 21. You just gotta feel good. You gotta feel good if you're a Hawks fan. If you're a Knicks fan, you gotta feel some nervousness starting to creep in. You still have a chance. I'm not saying you have no chance. I'm still picking the Knicks to win this series in 7 games. But for what the Hawks have done in the last 2 games, if the Hawks win in Game 4, I don't know if I can pick New York to come back and win 3 out of 4. I just don't know. I don't know. You're going to sit here and tell me that the New York Knicks are going to come back from a 3-1 deficit to the Atlanta Hawks, to this Atlanta Hawks team? This Game 4 for the New York Knicks on whatever Saturday or Sunday, whenever the game is, has to be a Game 7 kind of mentality. If the New York Knicks go down 3-1 in this series, it is over. It's over. You have to find the mismatch with Karl Anthony Towns on Okongwu. That has to be the matchup that you attack if you're the New York Knicks. If you're the Hawks, pick your poison, honestly, at this point. They have literally been searching for Jalen Brunson on every switch, every pick and roll. They are looking for that matchup. They are hunting it, and they're exploiting it every chance they get. CJ McCollum has literally been looking at Jalen Brunson on defense like burnt chicken. It's been that bad. It's been that bad. Every single time, if you watch the game, it is Jalen Brunson being hunted by CJ McCollum, by Dyson Daniel, by Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who didn't even have his best game last night, still put up 14 points. We're still waiting for the Nickeil Alexander-Walker game when he goes off for 25 points and he has a 5 of 7 shooting night from 3. He hasn't had his good shooting night yet, and it's still coming. He's a shooter. He's an absolute shooter, and when he can get it going, this team is going to be borderline unstoppable. But they still have Jalen Johnson. They still have CJ McCollum. They still have what Jonathan Kuminga has been doing these last couple games. Did I mention Dyson Daniel had a eight had 8 and 13 last night? 13 rebounds out of three steals to that. Yeah, this Hawks team is legit. This is the Hawks team that has been one of the hottest teams in the NBA down the stretch here. This is the Hawks team that literally has been pushing everybody to the brink, has beaten the Celtics a couple times, has beaten the Hornets, has beaten the Rockets. This is the Hawks team that has been one of the hottest teams over the last 2 months since the All-Star break. Have been climbing up the Eastern Conference rankings quietly and now are giving the New York Knicks everything they can handle. I told you guys before this series started, this series is going to be an incredibly tight series. It's going to be a series that goes back and forth all the way down the wire. It's going to go to 7 games. The only reason I revised my pick, and I still am saying the Knicks have a chance in this series to take over the series, is because Karl-Anthony Towns is a mismatch for the Hawks. Karl-Anthony Towns, there shouldn't be anybody that the Hawks can put on Karl-Anthony Towns that they definitively believe can slow down or stop Karl-Anthony Towns. Okongwu can't do it. I don't even think if they had Porzingis could do it. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. What are you going to put Corey Kispert on Cat? It's not going to work. The Hawks just don't have a big man like that. They just don't have anybody that can guard Cat. So if I'm Cat, I'm just looking to play bully ball, and he did last night, 21 and 17. But it can't just be a one-man wrecking crew. Jalen Brunson has to come with him, and I think the Hawks are literally just saying, "Okay, Cat, we know he can't stop you, but we know we can stop everybody else around you. So how about this? Let me take the Portland Trailblazer game plan. Let me take something out of their playbook, what they're doing against Wemby right now. Let me put you on an island. You can do whatever you want. You can go off for 20 and 20. You can be Wilt Chamberlain if you want to be. But we're going to make Jalen Brunson look like, I don't even know, Lamar Odom. Name some crappy point guard. That's just the first one that came to my brain. I don't know why. But literally, they're attacking Mikal Bridges on every switch and Jalen Brunson. I mean, Mikal Bridges might be the worst trade in NBA. The trade that the New York Knicks made for Mikal Bridges might go down as the worst trade in NBA history. 5 first-round picks. You pay this man $150 million 2 years ago. You trade 5 first-round picks for him, and what does he do last night in a game that you have an ability? The Hawks came out and took this game by storm. The Knicks climb back into it. They climb back. They come back. They take the lead going into the waning seconds. They're up by 1 with 16 seconds left. Also, did I mention that he had a chance to win game 2? He had the ball in his hands. He took the final shot before the buzzer sounded. When he had literally another second and a half that he could have drove the ball to the net. Mikal Bridges, 0 points last night, 0 of 3 shooting, 0 of 2 from 3, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, and a minus 26 on the floor. To put it into perspective, guys, this is what the plus-minus was on the court for the Knicks last night. Plus 22 for Cat, plus 16 for Miles McBride, plus 3 for Josh Hart, plus 1 for Jalen Brunson, plus 1 for Jordan Clarkson, plus 2 for Jose Alvarado, minus 4 for OG Anunoby, minus 2 for Landry Shamet, minus 18 for Mitchell Robinson, and minus 26 for Mikal Bridges. Mitchell Robinson, at least we can give a pass because he comes off the bench. He plays 11 minutes. But Mikal Bridges played 21 minutes. Mikal Bridges is a starter for this team. I don't know what's gone on with Mikal Bridges' career, going from the Phoenix Suns, making the finals in your rookie season, and then ever since then, it's just been trickling far. It's just been he's just been pissing down his leg more and more every single year until where we are right now. That might be the worst performance in Mikal Bridges' career. And if he continues to struggle the way he has, not only in this series, let's say they beat the Atlanta Hawks, but he continues to struggle against the Boston Celtics or the Philadelphia 76ers in the next round, it's wraps for Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges will get cut by the New York Knicks, and I don't know where he goes. Maybe he goes to the New Orleans Pelicans. Maybe he goes to the Chicago Bulls. Maybe he goes to the Utah Jazz. Wherever he goes, it won't be a contender, and that'll be the end of his career. Unless he can have a renaissance. I don't know. This kid in Mikal Bridges has the talent, has the wingspan, he looks like if you just watch him on the court, he has a 7'1" wingspan. He's a small forward, but he plays like a guard. He's like 6'8". I don't know how tall. He's 6'6". Excuse me. And he shoots like a guard. He has the build. He has an athletic build. He looks like he's a guy who can be a two-way defender, but apparently not. I don't know. It's a weird situation with Mikal Bridges right now. I don't know, but the Hawks do take a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 is tomorrow night. I'll be back tomorrow to preview all the action for that one. But let's go ahead and get to the next game. There were 3 games last night. There were 3 games. The Toronto Raptors. Let's recap that one real quick with the Raptors because I'm trying to get somewhere. Okay, the Raptors and Cavs. This is a series that I thought was going to be really close. I thought the Raptors would win tonight, regardless if Emmanuel quickly played or not. I just know how tough it is to play in Toronto. On top of that, the Cavs apparently just forgot to shoot the ball. Forgot how to shoot the ball. I mean, look at what James Harden, 3 of 10 from 3, 5 of 13 from the field. Donovan Mitchell, 7 of 16 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. Emmanuel Mobley, I keep saying that. Evan Mobley, 4 of 13 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. The only guy that knew how to shoot was the guy Max Strus. And we know how good Max Strus is. When he can get it going, he's an absolute showstopper. 15 points last night, 4 of 8 from 3. Absolute stud Max Strus is offensively. But the Cavs get smoked by 20 by the Raptors. And you got to give Scotty Barnes credit. 33 points for the kid, 11 assists. He continues to shine in his first playoff series. He's one of the best young talents in the NBA. A lot of people were saying that he couldn't shoot the 3. I mean, I don't know what you guys were watching in the regular season. Maybe he just didn't shoot the 3 in the regular season. For whatever I've seen in the playoffs, he shot 3 of 5 last night. If I go through the series, I know he shot really well in game 2 as well from 3. I think he's hit at least 3 threes in every game this series, I think. Game 2, let's just go ahead and look. Game 2, Scotty Barnes, he went 1 of 4 in game 2. And then game 1, he shot a 3 of 4 from 3. Okay, 3 of 4 from 3 game 1. 1 of 4 game 2, and then 3 of 6 or 3 of 5 in game 3. That's not bad shooting. That's not poor shooting. It just he doesn't shoot it a lot, but when he does shoot it, he's been shooting it at a good clip this year. So Scotty Barnes playing exceptional basketball in this series. Brandon Ingram continues to struggle. Outside of his game 1 performance, he has struggled for this Raptors team. Hasn't been the engine for the team. Only 12 points last night. RJ Barrett, on the other hand, last night, 33 points, 6 of 8 from 3, 12 of 19 from the field. I bet the New York Knicks would rather have RJ Barrett right now instead of Mikal Bridges. They play almost the exact same position. I love clowning Knicks fans. It's the best. Every Boston fan loves it. But Knicks, I mean, let's just stick with the Raptors here. RJ Barrett is a stud. He should have never left the New York Knicks. He's been unbelievable for this Raptors team and has been one of the catalysts and one of the guys one of the cornerstones of this franchise that has really just changed the complete standpoint of the franchise to send them to the playoffs this year, to make them a number 5 seed this year, to continue to progress and grow the team that they have, build that roster. RJ Barrett is a part of what they built over there. He is. He is a part of that. And across the board, this team is just continuing to play good basketball. I mean, I'm picking the Cavs to win game 4. Unless, I will continue to say it, if Emmanuel quickly comes back, maybe he can give a spark for this team. But for what we've seen, Emmanuel quickly continues to be ruled out in this series. He's labeled on the injury report with a hamstring injury. nagging hamstring injury. That is why the hamstring injury is one of the worst injuries to have going into the playoffs. It is nagging. Sometimes you can play through it like this. Other times you're just sitting there and you're like, you just have to sit there and you just have to consistently put heat on it and just wait and wait and wait until it just feels right. Because the last thing you want to do is re-injure that thing and possibly tear it, and then you're sitting there possibly missing time going into next season. That's it. And this is a kid, Emmanuel Quickly, who's only 26 years of age. So he's got his entire career ahead of him. Even just missing this playoff series won't mean anything. Nobody's picking the Raptors to beat the Cavs. Nobody. So the Cavs are most likely going to continue to play really well. I expect them to win Game 4, take a 3-1 series lead, and close the series out in Game 5. If Emmanuel Quickly can come back, I'll give the Raptors a chance to win Game 4. I'm not giving them a chance to win the series, though. Cavs win Game 5, and then they go out there and win Game 6 back in Toronto. But let's get over to the main event. Let's get to the main course, because after all the games, we know how good the Knicks game was. The Knicks game was unbelievable. The NFL draft, congratulations. Congratulations, rookies. We'll get there in a second as well. I'll touch on that before the end of the show. But the main course last night, the best sports game last night, took place at 10 o'clock in Minnesota, with the Denver Nuggets going up to Minnesota and getting absolutely ass-whipped by the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, they got whooped last night. They got absolutely rumped in Minnesota last night. It was not close. The Denver Nuggets got their asses kicked. And when you look at it through and through, I mean, you have to give Jaden McDaniels credit. He stood up there and said everybody's trash on the defensive end of the ball. They can't play defense. They're all trash. Sat up there, said his shit, and then decided to go out there and absolutely work the Denver Nuggets. He gave Jamal Murray no room to grow, no room to breathe last night. Jamal Murray shot 5 of 17, 0 of 5 from 3. You know why? Because Jaden McDaniels was all up in his airspace, gave him no space to even breathe. There was no chance for Jamal Murray to make a shot last night. Nikola Jokic, Rudy Gobert needs to win MVP of this series if the T-Wolves win. Rudy Gobert and his defense is the reason the Denver Nuggets are going to lose this series. The only person in the entire NBA that could stop Nikola Jokic, not only in this series, in the NBA, might be Rudy Gobert. He might be the only person in the NBA that can stop Nikola Jokic. Jokic on every single play. He shot 26 shots last night. 2 of 10 from 3, 7 of 26 from the field. The only reason he finished with 27 points is because he shot 11 free throws. He was perfect from the free throw line, 11 of 11. Congratulations. But other than that, Nikola Jokic did absolutely nothing last night. He was just trying in the second half, especially in the third quarter. Every time the Nuggets had a possession on the offensive side of the ball, it was Jokic just charging down the lane, kick out, back to Jokic. He puts a floater up, gets blocked by Rudy, gets tipped by Rudy. He turnover by Rudy Gobert. How many steals did Gobert have? He had 3 blocks last night. 3 blocks, all of them on Jokic. So when you look at it, Jokic was a minus 21 on the floor last night. That's unheard of for the best player in the league. And yes, Jokic is the best player in the NBA right now. This is a Nikola Jokic. This is a Nuggets team that was missing Aaron Gordon, still missing Peyton Watson, but they still have a good team around Jokic. They still have Cam Johnson. They still have Christian Braun. They still have Tim Hardaway Jr. and Bruce Brown. They have a bunch of guys that can still play good basketball. And last night might have been one of the worst performances in recent Nuggets history. They went down by 14 in the first quarter. Were down 20 at half. And actually, they were down, it was 61-39 at half. So they were down 22 at half. They ended up losing by 17. But This is a Nuggets team that is going to need to bounce back in Game 4 because if Minnesota goes out there and wins Game 4, this series is over. This series is over. We know Minnesota can go up to Denver and win, and I would pick them to win Game 5 if Denver lost. I don't care. That's crazy that I'm even saying this because this is a Nuggets team that I said was going to win this series in 6 games. Now, if they even win, it would have to be in 7 games. They've already blown a 20-point lead in Game 2. They now go down by 20 in Game 3. And without Aaron Gordon back in the lineup, I don't see this Nuggets team having any chance to beat the T-Wolves. This is a T-Wolves team without Anthony Edwards at his best. Anthony Edwards is playing out there on one leg. His knee is still bothering him. If you watch that game, he was bothered by his knee that entire game. But Jaden McDaniels playing the way he has, putting up 20 points last night with 10 rebounds. Julius Randle with 15. Rudy Gobert with 10 and 12. Dante DiVincenzo another 15. Ayo Dosunmu with 25. The way he's able to probe the lane and set up the offense for everybody else. He almost had a double-double with assists. He had 9 assists last night. He was an absolute stud. This team is a juggernaut in the Minnesota Timberwolves, and it's time that we actually say that. We know that they're a deep lineup. They have one of the deepest rosters. They went out there and got Bones Highland and Ayo Dosunmu. They were probably the most successful team at the trade deadline because they got Ayo Dosunmu. I think him alone, he was the biggest acquisition at the trade deadline. The Chicago Bulls letting Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu walk and Nikola Vucevic walk were the biggest mistakes. They wanted a clean house, but at least the teams that they sent them to, they've been prospering ever since. Maybe not for the Celtics, but I mean, Kobe White, you saw what he did in the play-in tournament. You've seen now what Ayo Dosunmu has been doing the last month without Anthony Edwards in the lineup, and now what he's doing in the playoffs against the Denver Nuggets. I mean, if you watched him last night, he was just a probe. He was just running in a circle, staying patient, going, am I going to take a fadeaway? No, I'm going to go inside and draw contact, get to the free throw stripe. That's Ayo Dosunmu for you. Playing smart basketball. We knew how good he was in Illinois. The fact of the matter is, the Chicago Bulls are just a pathetic franchise right now. Ever since Michael Jordan left, ever since Derrick Rose got hurt and left that franchise has been a dump ever since. And they've continued that trend. Looking at what Ayo Dosunmu is doing now. On a caliber contender team with a stable roster, with a leader, with a damn good head coach at Alec Finch, continuing to send this team, continuing to improve this team, and get them closer to their goal of ultimately winning an NBA championship. The Minnesota Timberwolves have to be contenders now. We originally had them as dark horses. I had them 5th on my list. I think I had them below the Lakers. I had them 5th on my list only because I thought Anthony Edwards being hurt was going to be an issue for them. But for them to go out there and play the way that they have, for them to go out there and just the way that they played last night, the ass whipping that they put on the Denver Nuggets last night, you have to respect it at this point. You have to respect it. There's no more the Nuggets are a lock to win this series. The Timberwolves are here, and they have a damn good chance to win this series. Especially if they win Game 4. The series is on the line in Game 4. If the Nuggets can win, they get right back into it, and Game 5 turns into the game. It turns into a best-of-3 series. But if the Timberwolves win this series, if they win Game 4, not only will the Nuggets not hear the end of it after firing Mike Malone, bring in David Adelman 2 years ago, and in 2 years haven't even looked, especially this year being a first-round exit, it would be an indictment on David Adelman's career, I think. After what they did with Mike Malone, which I still can't understand. I still can't fathom why you would fire a NBA champion level head coach in the middle of the season last year. I don't know. This Nuggets franchise continues to boggle my brain. Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA, and he will continue to be the best player in the NBA. Nothing will change that. He's going to go down as one of the top 5 centers in league history. It's just going to be about when he decides to retire because we're not having that conversation till then. That's all I got for you guys for that one. Timberwolves take Game 3. Game 4 is tomorrow night, and I cannot wait for that one. That game tips off at 8:30 tomorrow night, on Saturday night. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal setup, phenomenal games tomorrow night. Can't wait for them. Let's get to tonight's game real quick. We get the Celtics-Sixers. Game 3. We've seen the Sixers go out there in Boston, win Game 2 on the shoulders, of VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey. We know how good Maxey is. He gives the Celtics to work every single time he plays us. But for what VJ Edgecombe did, we know what he did in the season opener this year. If you go back, way back, go all the way back to October of this year. I think it was October 19th or 18th. The Philadelphia Sixers walked into Boston with VJ Edgecombe in his first NBA game. I'll go back and find, where is it? First NBA game. The Philadelphia 76ers won that game 117 to 116. VJ Edgecombe goes off for 34 points, doesn't even have an efficient shooting night, with Tyrese Maxey going off for 40. That's how good this Sixers team is. When they're fully loaded, when they have everybody healthy and ready to go, this is how good they can be. And they've already proven it. I honestly completely forgot about this game until I saw Game 2, and I completely forgot. I honestly was just going back through the Celtics history, and I found that game after I recapped it. But the way that the Sixers played, it was just eerily similar. And the Celtics just can't. The Celtics need to find some more offensive efficiency than what they did in Game 2. I mean, Jaylen Brown went off for 36, had a massive third quarter. Congratulations. We love that. He's one of the best players in the league, and he's still the number one player on this team. Tatum put in another 19 points. Not a great efficient shooting night, but oh well, I can take it. Derek White, we need better than 3 of 12, man. Peyton Pritchard, we need better than 2 of 8, man. Nikola Vucevic, I expect you to be able to hit your touch passes, those little floaters that you can just touch and just put back in the basket. We've seen Nikola Vucevic. We know how good he can be. We've seen him throughout his entire career be a 20-10 guy in his sleep. Ever since he's gotten hurt, he has not been that guy. He's been dominated in this series by Andre Drummond. So if I'm Nikola Vucevic, I go out there in Philly tonight and I remind the NBA of who I am. If I'm the Celtics team, I go out there and I put a rumping by 20 on the Philadelphia 76ers, and they can do that. That's how good the Celtics are at their best. But unfortunately, I'm not going to pick that. I will pick the Celtics to win because I am picking against them against the Philadelphia 76ers. It's not happening. But they're not going to go out there and win by 20. It's just not going to happen. It's not. I know how good this team can be, but Philly has too much confidence now. You've now given VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, you've opened the door and showed them the light. All they have to do is continue to attack. They need to attack Derek White and attack Peyton Pritchard on every single switch like they did in Game 2, and they will find success. Paul George is still averaging like 20 points in this series. He had 19 points last night. I think he had like 20 in Game 1 as well. Like, this team has players. They have the guys to be successful. They have the talent everywhere you look. And Joel Embiid isn't even back in the lineup. Honestly, I'll say this really quick now. I think that I'll go so far as to say, I think the Philadelphia 76ers should absolutely trade Joel Embiid this offseason. I think you have all the bones. You have the foundation in Maxey and Edgecombe to be successful. You have Paul George with them so that they can continue to grow with them. Get some talent. Get some pieces back. Get what Joel Embiid's worth now, even though he's not worth a whole lot because he gets injured a lot. But get somebody for him. Send him to the Warriors. The Warriors would love him. Send him to Atlanta. The Hawks would love him. Try and get a guy like a Dyson Daniel, even though that probably wouldn't work. Just try and get your dues worth for Joel Embiid and rebuild this team around or rebrand this team, I guess, around Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. These two guys are your future in Philly. These two guys are are going to be bona fide stars. Maxey's already a star in this league. VJ Edgecombe is the next Donovan Mitchell in this league. The way he shoots, the way he defends, the way he plays complete basketball, sound basketball. 12 of 20 in game 2, 6 of 10 from 3. Every time the Celtics could get close, it was Edgecombe hitting a 3. It was Maxey going down the lane and playing takeover and just putting the Celtics in a loop every single time. Every single time. The defense, two steals in that game, a piece for Maxey and Edgecombe in that game as well. So give me the Philadelphia 76ers they need to go ahead and rebrand this team around those two guys. I'm not picking them tonight. I'm going with the Celtics. I'm just not going ahead and I'm not even going to entertain that. It's not going to happen. The Sixers are going to play tough tonight, but I think the Celtics are going to bounce back from game 2. They had a really, really bad game 2. When I say really bad game 2, I mean they shot like 25% from 3. They shot 13 of 50 from 3. You tell me that's going to happen again? It's not. This Celtics team is too good all the way around. I'm taking them to go ahead and win tonight in Game 3. Let's go ahead to the next game. The final game tonight. There's only 2 games. I think there's 3 games tonight. All right. Lakers-Rockets. Lakers might be getting Austin Reeves back, which, if you're a Lakers fan, is massive news. If you're a Rockets fan, it puts you in an absolute loop. Kevin Durant already has no help. Kevin Durant is already going to have to is already going to go for 40 tonight. He's going to go nuclear tonight. Kevin Durant. He's going to try everything in his power. He's going to do everything in his power to make sure the Houston Rockets don't get swept. And it'll be close. I don't think Marcus Smart's going to have another 25-point game, but can I see Austin Reeves taking that 25 points or splitting 12 and 10 between him and I got hiccups. Him and Marcus Smart? I absolutely could see that. Could I see Luke Kennard still playing at the level he's been playing at? Absolutely. Could I see LeBron James have a takeover game late down the stretch in a close game and him just take over this game? Absolutely. This is a Lakers team that is running off of their experience. This is a Lakers team that was in the conference finals 2 years ago, led by LeBron James, led by Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. They haven't really changed a lot of their roster. The only guys, their only additions have been Luke Kennard and DeAndre Ayton, and both of those guys have had a good series so far. I think DeAndre Ayton's averaging like 15 points in this series. He's having a good series. You have to give him credit where credit is due. He's holding his own against Alperen Şengün and giving Şengün problems. Yes, Şengün has more problems than just DeAndre Ayton, but if you look all the way around, you have to give DeAndre Ayton credit for the way he's been playing so far in this series. So, give me the Lakers to go ahead and win tonight. With Austin Reeves, yeah, the Lakers go up 3-0 in this series. I originally picked the Rockets actually to win this series in 6 games. Without Luka. If Luka came back, I thought Luka would propel this team to a 7-game series win for the Lakers. But without him, I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't even think Reeves was going to come back in this series. I thought he was coming back in the second round because oblique is the lower back. You're walking around, you're in pain. You can't bend, you can't shoot, you can't defend, you can't make sharp turns. That's all pain in your lower back. But apparently he's coming back tonight. He's questionable, barring some sort of setback in shoot-arounds later today. Austin Reeves will be back on the court for the Los Angeles Lakers. And that honestly means to me it's a 95% chance that he plays. That's what that means to me. So, for the Lakers, that is a big-time addition. For the Rockets, that could be the final nail in their coffin and finish and end their season in Houston. Their season could be over in 4 games, which is crazy. If Kevin Durant gets swept, we are going to need to have conversations about Kevin Durant's future. But I will wait because I do have to go to work. So we need to continue to fly through this. Spurs and Trailblazers to close out the night at 10:30. Spurs are going to be without Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama still is being listed to be back. He's most likely going to be missing Game 3 and Game 4, which are crucial for the San Antonio Spurs. Denny Advia has not had his game yet. He had a game in Game 1. I gotta blow my nose real quick, but I think I'm gonna just power through. He had a game in Game 1, went off for 30 points. Great Game 1. Unfortunately, Victor Wembanyama was the best player in that game. There was no way the Spurs were gonna lose their first home playoff series game in like 10 years. The best season since Tim Duncan was with the team. There was just no way. And Denny Advia goes off for 30. The Trailblazers lose Game 1. Cool. Scoot Henderson takes the reins in Game 2, goes off for 31. Victor goes down in the second quarter. The Trailblazers come back from 14 down in the fourth quarter and come back and win this game. I'm telling you, this team is being held up by their veterans. Their veterans being Drew Holiday, being Jeremy Grant. These guys are the defensive anchors for this team and are continuing to show and teach their younger players how to win. Teaching Donovan Clean, teaching Tamani Kamara, teaching Denny Advia, Scoot Henderson. These guys are the cornerstones of this franchise, and this is the reason why they have a legit chance to win this series. The Trailblazers now have a legit chance to win this series because of how good those stars, because of how good the young players are playing, because of how good their Tiago Splitters. Give me 2 seconds. I'm not letting you guys see that because that was gross. But unless you want to see me dripping from my nose, but what the Trailblazers are doing needs to be seen, needs to be respected. So, give me the Trailblazers to win tonight. I'm telling you, the Spurs without Victor Wembanyama are not the same team. I know De'Aaron Fox is still on this team. I know Stephon Castle's still there, but they lost Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper and Harrison Barnes both went out of Game 2. I think they're both questionable for tonight. We'll see. But without Victor Wembanyama in the lineup, this is a completely different Spurs team. I think the space, the pace that they normally play at, I think at least the spacing that Victor Wembanyama gives them, the different dimensions that Wemby plays with. He can play as a center sometimes. He can play as a guard sometimes. He can shoot the three. He can shoot the mid-range. He can get to the rack whenever he wants. That's Wemby for you. And that's why this team is so good, because you can't defend Wemby. Your head has to be on a swivel. It's like having to play against Steph Curry. It literally is like playing against Steph Curry. So, give me the Trailblazers to win tonight. Give me Tiago Splitter to continue to coach this team the right way, to bring them where they need to get to, take a 2-1 series lead, and then without Wemby in Game 4, unless the Spurs can find something here tonight in Game 3, we might be looking at 3-1 going back to San Antonio. Now, I would give the Spurs a chance in a Game 4, in a Game 5. I would give the Spurs a chance to come back from 3-1 down, but it would be an exceptional story to have it actually happen. Give me 2 seconds. My nose is going crazy. Yeah, bro. My freaking allergies are kicking this morning, man. Damn. It's been going insane. I don't know if it's just me. I think it's just springtime right now, and the allergies are just kicking. But oh my god. Yeah, that's all I got for the NBA today. Let's get into the NHL real quick, and then we'll get to the NFL. Let's see. You guys got any questions for me so far? Not really. You think Knicks got it in? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the Knicks can do it. I think the Knicks can. Minnesota was putting belt to ass in the first quarter. Yeah, ever since the first quarter, it was wraps. Tatum for threes tonight? Maybe. I probably wouldn't take it, though. They have they have a game plan against Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown tonight. They figured out, I think the Celtics got exposed deep offensively in Game 2. I think they know how to disrupt Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum just enough for them to be able to, if the Sixers can shoot the ball, they know how to play defensively to slow down the Celtics. That's essentially what I'm saying. They know how to slow down Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's about the role players for the Celtics. It's about Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Sam Hauser, Baylor Shireman, Nikola Vucevic. If these guys can be playmakers, can at least be shot makers, and take some of that pressure off of the key duo, I think the Celtics can be okay. Because we saw Jaylen Brown play takeover. We saw Jason Tatum play takeover in the first half of Game 1. We've seen Jaylen Brown be takeover twice. Third quarter, Game 1. Third quarter, Game 4 or Game 2. And I think he'll be able to continue to do that because I think he's a mismatch against the Sixers. I don't think anybody can deal with the athleticism of Jaylen Brown. But can they deal with Jason Tatum? Yes. Right now, Jason Tatum's not at his best. He's still not moving quick enough. He doesn't have that initial burst as he originally had before he got hurt last year. Give him time. Give Jason Tatum time to continue to rehab his injury. It's going to be about the role players, though, if the Celtics want to win. Let me get to the NHL real quick because I do have to go to work. I keep saying that. Bruins fall down to the Sabres 3-1. I did a video yesterday. I did a video at 5 o'clock being like the Bruins are going to go out there and out physical the Sabres. They're going to kick the Sabres' teeth in Boston. Those are literally my words. I said in Boston, the Sabres haven't played a road playoff game in 15 years. The Bruins fans are going to welcome the Bruins. The Bruins are going to feed off the TD Garden energy, and it's going to be a great game. Bruins go out there, score the opening goal. Tanner Jeannot, with a phenomenal goal. Richter just sticks it, is able to sneak it behind Alex Lyon's right leg, right skate to get the Bruins up 1-0. Bo Byram. He gets the second goal he gets the equalizing goal for the Sabres in the second period. He gets the equalizing goal. Cool. It is what it is. Alex Tuck, going to the third period, midway through the third period, gets the second goal for the Sabres, puts them up 2-1. I'm sitting there, I'm saying, the Bruins are getting outplayed, out-physicaled, they're just being out-coached. They're playing, the effort, this team that they're playing right now in the Buffalo Sabres, this is the Sabres team that won the Atlantic Division. This is the team, this is one of the hottest teams. This is the team that was one of the hottest teams since December. This is the team that we were expecting to see in this series. And if the Bruins are going to want to be able to contend with that, they're going to need to elevate their level of play. Elevate their physicality, effort, coaching, everything needs to be elevated. Jeremy Swayman needs to be playing on his head the same way he played in Game 1, minus those last 7 minutes. But I mean, he still had 34 saves in that game. He had 34 saves in that game. It's the most we've seen it's the most we've seen in the entire series so far. He had 25 in Game 2 and 27 in Game 3. So, if the Bruins are going to want to win this series, at least if the Bruins don't want to lose 3 straight games, they have to go out there and win Game 4. If the Bruins lose Game 4, this series ends in Buffalo. It's over. It's going to end in Buffalo. The Bruins are not going to go back to Buffalo down 3-1 in front of that crowd and win that game. The Sabres have too much confidence, too much passion, too much energy, and too much momentum. This is a Bruins team that is going to need to go out there and win Game 4, and it doesn't need to be decisive fashion. I'd honestly want it to be a close game. I want the Bruins to go out there in a close game in overtime and rip the Sabres' hearts out. With the chance for the Sabres to go out there and close the series on their home ice, I want them to have to go back to Buffalo in a tie series 2-2 going back to Buffalo. And then all our attention goes to Game 5. That's what I want. That's what I think. That's the best case scenario for the Bruins, honestly. I don't want to see another rumping. I don't want to see another 4-0 game in Game 4 because then I'll just be pissed. Because you lose Game 1, you give up 4 goals in 5 minutes, and then you get your ass kicked in Game 3. So game 4 is going to be where it's at. Game 4 is going to be where we sit here and actually are able to figure out where we can actually sit here and say, do the Bruins have an actual chance to win this series? Because if they lose game 4, no. Hell no. If they win game 4, maybe. Depends on how they play. But yeah, we'll see how that all turns out. Let's switch gears over to the next series. Hurricanes taking 3-0 series lead. I was shocked that they beat the Senators, but this is how good the Hurricanes are. Taylor Hall continues to be a leader of this team. He goes up with 2 points last night. Jackson Blake and Logan Stankoven. Stankoven starting off the game with hitting the opening goal, and the Hurricanes end up winning this game 2-1. This is a Senators team that's on the brink. They might go out there and win game 4, but at this point, I don't even think so. I think the Senators' last gasp to win a game in this series, their chance to win a series was in game 2. There's another team we'll get into in a sec that had the exact same situation. But the Senators had a beautiful opportunity. They send the series to double. They send game 2 to double overtime. Are sitting there playing on their head. Will Anderson is the only reason the Hurricanes didn't lose that game. And now you see what the Hurricanes are doing. And you also have to give Ulis Allmark, the former Bruins goalie, the guy that's sitting there in net for the Senators. He's been playing unbelievable hockey for the Senators this year. And he continues to be playing like one of the premier goalies in the league. He's one of the best goalies in the NHL. And he's showing it right now for the Ottawa Senators. Going over to the Avalanche and Kings, same exact situation. The Kings had a beautiful chance. Go up 1-0 against the Avalanche with 6 minutes to play in Game 2. They go up in Game 2, a game that had been 0-0 all the way through until the final 6 minutes of the game. Kings score. Avalanche score a minute and a half later. The game goes to overtime. Avalanche ultimately win Game 2. Game 3, same thing. Kings have a chance. They tied the game at one goal apiece at one point. The Avalanche score first, Kings answer, and then the Avalanche score 2 more. It's 3-1. Kings score again, 4 minutes to play. I'm like, the Kings are right back into it. All they need to do is score another goal in the next 4 minutes. Easier said than done, of course, because the Avalanche are still the best team in the league, still the best offense in the league. You're not going to be able to it's going to take a lot for anybody to put pressure on this Avalanche offense to be able to slam the door on this Avalanche offense. They're too good. They're too well balanced. Cale Makar with another goal last night. Brock Nelson, Atari Lehkonen with another goal as well. Excuse me. And you're just seeing how good the Avalanche are in this series. They go up 3-0 against the Kings. I think the Kings go out there and lose game 4 as well. I think this Avalanche team is too good. Maybe the Kings sit there and say we're not getting swept and go out there and win game 4. I'm giving the Kings a better chance than the Senators, honestly, to win game 4. That is what I'll say. The Kings have a better chance to win game 4 than the Senators do. I think the Senators are almost for sure on sweep watch. But the Kings have a chance. Tonight we get the Lightning and Canadiens. The Lightning go out there and win a marvelous game 2. Come back, even the game at 3 goals apiece, and then ultimately win game 2 on the overtime goal from Mofsar. I think this Lightning team is still really good. I think they continue to ride off the momentum from game 2. Win game 3 tonight. I'm rolling with the Lightning on the road. Golden Knights and Mammoth, I'm thinking the exact opposite. The Mammoth won game, well, I guess the same thing, but Mammoth are at home against Vegas. They're going to be playing on their home ice for the first time in this series. Give me Utah to win this game. I think this Utah Mammoth squad is playing exceptionally good hockey right now. I think Vegas is good. They're a good team, but they're not great. I think they have a lot more holes. They're running off of the older guys in Jack Eichel and Mark Stone, still riding Mitch Marner offensively. I think it's going to the train's going to stop at some point. That's just playing flat out what it's going to be. I think Vegas is just riding on their older guys, and I think they're playing on almost empty gas tanks. Give me the Utah Mammoth with their young guys, with Logan Cooley, one of the youngest players. I think he scored 2 goals in back-to-back games. The youngest player to score goals in his first 2 games. 21-year-old Logan Cooley, phenomenal player. Give me the Mammoth to win tonight at home in Game 3. And then you get, finally, the final game of the night, you get the Oilers and the Ducks. Oilers back in Anaheim. I think this series is going to be back and forth. I want to say the Ducks tonight after the way that they played in Game 2. I think they continue to play off of that momentum. That's honestly the theme of how the NHL works sometimes. Sometimes you just can't tell. But I think tonight I'm rolling with the Anaheim Ducks to take a 2-1 series lead on the Oilers. The Oilers will come back in Game 4 and Game 5. But for tonight, Anaheim is one of the best goal-scoring teams in the league. They're able to put points up on the board. And unless the Oilers can match that, they don't have a chance in this series. They were able to get lucky in Game 1, scored 2 unanswered, scored the go-ahead goal to take the 4-3 lead with 2 minutes to play. Ducks, on the other hand, go up by 2 goals in the third period against the Oilers, and that was it. 6-4 win for the Ducks in Game 2. I think they continue to ride off that momentum. Give me the Ducks tonight. So that's all I got for the NBA and NHL for you guys. I can roll through really quick. Again, Lightning, Mammoth, and Ducks tonight in the NHL. And then in the NBA, I got the Celtics, I got the Lakers, and I got the Portland Trailblazers. 2 road teams, and then the Portland Trailblazers at home. But yeah. Let's get to the NFL real quick. Some of the biggest stories from the NFL draft. Mccolumn gets drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. They get the replacement for A.J. Brown. That's a big-time addition for them, even though we did see him in some of that some of the pre-draft interview. I think that's just antics, bro. You see so many players. I mean, if Jalen Ramsey can act the way he does, I mean, there's so many players. I think the maturity is something that you need to watch with Mccolumn, and I think that's justified. He's a younger player, and you want him to show some sort of maturity, some professionalism in an interview. I get that. But I think he's going to continue to get better. That is something I'm looking at for this Eagles team to continue to grow that wide receiver core. A new guy to replace A.J. Brown, their former wide receiver 1. I think Devontae Smith has to be their wide receiver 1 going into this year. But with Mccolumn behind him, we'll see what happens. Mccolumn was a phenomenal player in college, so I think he continues to play the way he has been. The other one I wanted to get to, though, are the Los Angeles Rams. Jesus, my allergies are absolutely kicking today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not usually not like this. I was talking about the Rams. I completely lost my train of thought. The Rams, after making the NFC Championship game, what would you say their biggest hole was on that team? Another offensive wide receiver to go along with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams with Matt Stafford? Maybe. A defensive player to continue to beef up that defense and get another guy that can lead that defensive unit. Honestly, get a secondary guy because that front 4 is underrated. But get another secondary guy. Get a cornerback, a safety, even a linebacker. No. They draft Ty Simpson from Alabama to replace Matthew Stafford. If you guys watch that post-game press conference from Sean McVay, he was pissed. He was pissed standing next to the GM. I don't know the GM's name, but he was sitting there absolutely livid. He did not answer a single question. I think one of the reporters noticed it and asked him a question. They were like, "Do you approve of Ty Simpson?" Something along those lines. He was like, "Yeah. I mean, we were looking at different options, but I think he literally said, I'll keep those details personal within us." He did not want Ty Simpson. He wanted to go out there and get Matthew Stafford another Super Bowl ring, which the Rams are literally knocking on the door. I thought the Rams were going to beat the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. I'm a Seahawks fan. I thought the Rams were one of the best teams in the league last year. They had the best wide receiver. They had the MVP candidate, the guy that won the MVP. They had one of the best wide receiver twos in the league in Davante Adams. They have a phenomenal running back. They have all the pieces to be successful. All you needed was an offensive lineman. All you needed was maybe another wide receiver, a defensive guy, a guy to just – you just needed another utility guy to be on that team. You didn't need a playmaker, but you needed a guy that would just improve the holes on the team. Be a guy that would stand in the shadows that nobody looked at, the guy that wouldn't show up on the stat sheet, but everybody looked at in the locker room and was like, yo, you won us that game. That's who you needed. Instead, you get the future for Matthew Stafford. Why? Why are you looking at the future when you're in the win now moment? When you're literally in a window of an opportunity with the team that they've already built over there in LA with a chance to win a Super Bowl? This might be their final year of their Super Bowl window. Yes, they have Puka Nacua, and he'll be there for the next 10 years. But Matt Stafford won't. Davante Adams won't. So, I don't know. This Rams team continues to boggle my mind. I don't think Ty Simpson was good enough to go number 13 overall. He was good, but was he good enough to go number 13 overall? I don't know. That's a little bit questionable for me. That's all I got for that. But those are the two biggest stories for me coming out of the draft. Yes, the Seahawks, they got Jabarian Price. Congratulations. I think that's going to be a good addition. Losing Kenneth Walker is going to be that's a big deal. And get another guy that can work behind Zach Charbonnet when he comes back. That'll be good. Jadarian Price has a lot of experience. He's a kid from Notre Dame. Was a good running back. Kind of reminds me of a Kenneth Walker with his build, with the way he runs. But he's a little bit more of a power rusher than an agility back. He's not as agile as Kenneth Walker was. So we'll see what Jabarian Price is all made of. We have a long way to go until the NFL season. I'm not going to get into the Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini stuff. I don't give a F about that because we are on TikTok. I ain't trying to get community guidelines striked. But thank you guys for watching. Drop a follow, drop a like. You won't see me making any more Bruins picks on here. At least not videos about it. I might do previews. But I ain't doing any more of that hype nonsense. Because I'm apparently just the jinx guy. I'm the guy that jinxes everything. So, I'm going to leave that at that. Go watch the Celtics. Watch some good basketball tonight. Hockey. If you wanted to watch the NFL draft tonight, go ahead and watch it. I ain't watching that nonsense again after giving up what I had to give up to watch it. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace.